Now we're at the 1 p.m. turn, and starting with the Confederates. And General Bragg has orders now from General Johnston, but he is in delay, and he fails his delay roll, so he is considered sitting at his desk at the McCulloch home trying to figure out how he's going to go about attacking the sunken road. Meanwhile, his troops are getting bloodied at the Peach Orchard. General Johnston leaves the Corps headquarters and heads back to the Army headquarters. In the picture here, and I've changed the angle, this picture is taken from the Confederate perspective, and you can see in the lower right part of the picture, Withers' division. He's captured the Peach Orchard basically like he was supposed to, but there's ongoing fighting because he's in contact with the Union. So you see Williams' brigade is defending against two Confederate attackers who happen to be Gladden and Chalmers' brigades. Chalmers is hit by defensive fire and actually becomes wrecked. It's also shaken and has to retreat. Gladden's brigade suffers a permanent loss, but his morale maintains and he holds his position. And on the return fire, the Union brigade, Williams, suffers a loss and remains on the edge of the sunken road. In the center of the photo, you can see Ruggles' division just to the south of Duncan Field. And Ruggles is moving his artillery pieces and unlimbers them on the track there to use them in his upcoming combats. Anderson's brigade moves into contact with Ingersoll's cavalry, and the cavalry is wrecked and at a very low ebb for firepower, but he's still able to use some defensive fire, but it has absolutely no effect. And then after taking fire, Ingersoll's cavalry evaporates, and have to remove the piece from the map because all of his boxes are checked on the roster sheet. In the left part of the photo, you see the 3rd Corps. Hindman's division is pressing ahead. You can see there's a little arrow there where he's trying to capture Review Field. And Wood's brigade advances within range of Wraith's brigade. Wraith is low ammunition, but he still manages to inflict a permanent loss on Wood's brigade. Otherwise, Wood holds his position without wavering, and Wraith's brigade suffers a loss and ends up routing and has to retreat, several hundred yards to the rear. Now, out of the photo is the 1st Corps. That's Stewart's brigade is attacking Marsh's brigade near Water Oaks Pond. Marsh and the division artillery fire on the Confederates, and they go low ammunition, which means they get some hits, and Stewart's brigade suffers 2 permanent losses and 2 stragglers. He passes his morale checks and remains in combat. Marsh's extended line also inflicts 2 losses on Russell's brigade. This leaves Stewart wishing that General Clark was still in command. Stewart tries again to get the Union artillery, and it is successful, and another artillery is destroyed and reduced to, I think, only 1 point left. Russell's brigade also fires on Marsh's extended line to the west and inflicts 1 permanent casualty. So now we go to the Union portion of the turn. General Grant issues orders to Sherman to fall back to Cavalry Field and defend from there. But those orders are not going to show up for an hour, so until the 2 o'clock turn. Doesn't really matter because Sherman rolls for initiative and he gets it and can give himself orders. So he's figured out before General Grant's orders get there that he needs to move back. Wallace, however, is still sitting on his orders. At the top part of the photo of the map, you can see Sherman's division there, and you can see it's trying to move back to Cavalry Field. In fact, Sherman happens to be there himself. and the Union supply wagons are able to resupply some of the units that were low on small arms ammunition. Prentice's units finally get to their positions where they want to be in that sunken road. You can see that. It's also called the Hornet's Nest on the map, and they are supporting Hurlbut's division. At the Hornet's Nest, there is some small arms fire near the Peach Orchard. Lawman and Veatch's brigade suffer some losses, and Veatch's men actually become shaken and fall back. Gladden's brigade, on the other hand, suffers several losses from the Union fire, and Gladden has to fall back. Then on the western end of the sunken road, you can see the 16th Iowa there, and he is able to strike Anderson's brigade. Again, I'll comment off map. There is some fighting going on at Water Oaks Pond, and Stuart is attacking the Union cannon that are deployed on the tracks just south of Water Oaks Pond. They fail to dislodge the position, though. Russell's brigade also fires at Marsh's extended lines near the pond, and the Union brigade suffers another loss. However, Marsh and the artillery get to fire back at the Confederates, and they suffer a loss and become wrecked. That's primarily Stuart's brigade, and it becomes shaken and has to fall back. Then Marsh's extended lines get to fire. They will attack Russell's brigade, which also suffers a loss and becomes shaken. Then in the center of the map, you can see a review field. Here, Gibson's brigade takes a shot at the extended lines on the elevation of review field, and this part of the line becomes shaken and falls back, and that is going to prevent the Union from being able to take a shot at Anderson in the flank. And so that was good work on the part of Colonel Gibson. Wraith's brigade continues to rout toward the Union rear. And that will wrap up the 1 o'clock turn on the first day of the Battle of Shiloh. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.